Welcome back to the last module of paper 5, communication through translation, module number 35 of EPG program in Japanese. Module is learn while practicing translation, and the subject is joint statement between the two countries, Japan and India. The paper deals with communication through translation, that is Honyaku Tsujite no communication, and we would like to sum up certain things in this module. So focus on this module and maybe watch it more number of times. The content is developed by me together with Anukumari, and acknowledgement goes to Saurabh Singh also. The two are trainees in the ongoing translation training program of CSIR Nescare. The module covers application of CPCI theory and translation techniques, almost same as what was in the previous module. The only difference is in this particular module, issue of terrorism, that is the paragraph which is taken up, so we skip other content. Recapitulation from the previous module, the concepts of universal and quasi-universal units are very useful at first occurrence, particularly for the verbs. Begin with the core equivalent and gradually fine-tune to include a database, to include this in the database. Universal units are universal units are universally usable, while quasi-universal units are dynamic. Combination of frame and 5W1H, even if the frame is kept in mind, is time-tested approach. Appropriate macro frame capturing followed by sequential 5W1H questions can help in rendering the near accurate translation. Frame, it's remembered that lighter the frame, easier it becomes to translate accurately. Move to smart or smart plus, that is heavier frames, gradually. One or two elements plus smallest possible meaningful frame is what it means by smart frame. It can cut down the process, but it can also lead to the complacency. So level up ultimately leads to a smart frame and then maybe to a super smart frame, where processes happen in the cognizant manner, that is, it happens in your mind and not on the paper. Equivalent compound terms in Japanese usually are explicit in terms of use of elements, but implicit in terms of use of particles. Therefore, understanding the elemental relationship in compound terms and building corpus of compound term units becomes significant. Let's begin with the examples for this particular module, that is issue of terrorism. So again, it's 3 plus 2, 5 and half lines. Again, looks quite complicated. Let's truncate the sentence, this paragraph into smaller sentences. So there are 5 sentences which are coming up here. Listing sentence by sentence increases the amenability, and let us now attempt translation sentence by sentence. In this particular case, in the sentence, the last, if we see, it's hyo gende hihansuru. Hinan or hihansuru? Hinansuru. Okay, so ryoshusho wa hinansuru, the smallest frame, fine. Okay, then nani o hinansuru?
Arayuru ketai mokteki no tero.
Arayuru ketai and mokteki no tero. Okay, simple. Donna seishinde?
Zero tolerance no seishinde.
Yes, you can see donna seishinde, the seishin is coming from the answer itself, that is from the sentence. Soshite?
Motomo tsuyoi hyogen de.
Okay, this motomo tsuyoi hyogen de, because it was seishin de, hyogen de, so question was soshite. Question 2 could have been dono yo ni, as a standard, when we look at the standard question could have been dono yo ni, but here it is, the question is donna seishinde. The seishinde is coming in a dynamic way from the sentence itself. So dynamic question approach, given a segment is the answer, you need to draw the question from the statement or from the segment. Initially, go for the random question, draw a hint from the segment for the question customization is to be done in the due course. We can see the difference. Only there is one issue in the reverse translation. So Japanese TR appears more organized because of proper use of particles can be translated by applying 5W1H directly while keeping the frame in mind. If we go for the CPCI, first is in the spirit of, and getting translated as nosation. I think it's a good expression to pick up as a unit, and at the unit level it's a core equivalent. And if you look at seishin de, in seishin de is translated as in, and seishin is a wide concept or wide scope concept, therefore it's getting translated as in. In strongest terms, motomo tsuyoi hyogen de. In strongest words, fine. I think terms is more technical word as compared to words. Core at unit level, I should say. Yes, let's see one more CPCI example. It's terrorism in all its forms and manifestation. Arayuru, katachi or keitai, mokuteki no tero. The reverse translation is terrorism of all forms as well as purposes. So there is a issue here, and actually it is not correct. The reverse translation is literal but incorrect. Japanese TR or Japanese TR from the published version is good equivalent. Terrorism in all its forms is arayuru keitai no tero, which is core at unit level, and terrorism in all its manifestation is arayuru mokuteki no tero. And two put together makes this expression. Mukuteki is actually target, while manifestation is the result unfolding. Therefore, this component is implicit at the unit level. That means at this unit level it is implicit. So try 5W1H to understand the complete unit. Terrorism in what form? Donna katachi no tero. Arayuru keitai no tero is the answer. Then terrorism in what all manifestations? Dono yoni arawareta katachi no tero, and arayuru katachi ni arawareta tero is the answer. Arayuru mokuteki no tero is the slightly different form. Example 2. Ryoshuno wa ryuishita. Okay. Donna omoi o motte ryuishita desu ka? Kene no motte. Okay. Nani ni tai. Nani ni is okay. Nani ni taishite?
Tero, 暴力的過激主義の脅威が増やしており、また拡散していることに。
Okay, mashite ori mata kaksan shiteiru koto. So there is one increasing and then the other is spreading. Okay. Question 1 could have been nani o motte also. So it's again standard versus the dynamic approach. Dynamic question approach here, you have to take care that this interactive approach helps in learn while practice. When you apply your mind, you get involved into the content at a different level. To put question through dynamic approach, combination of Japanese and mother tongue is very helpful. Okay, let's compare. There is a published translation, published version, then there is a Japanese translation, then there is a reverse translation, and there is a fine-tuned reverse translation. We are picking up growing menace of terrorism and violent extremism and its universal reach. Appears quite complicated, but if you see the Japanese, it's not so complicated. So tero, then boryoku-teki kageki shugi no kyoi ga mashite ori mata kaksan shiteru koto. So increasing and spreading. So there are two things. One is increasing, and only one thing which is increasing and spreading, and this one thing is actually there are two concepts. One is the menace of terrorism and violent extremism. So there are terrorism and violent extremism. Japanese TR is implicit. Its universal reach has been translated as tero. Then boryoku-teki kageki shugi no kyoi ga kakusan shiteiru koto, wherein universal is not getting translated in the case of Japanese. So it's implicit in that manner, and from Japanese TR to the reverse is core. So reverse TR is different from published version but close to Japanese TR, but this means that while translating published version into Japanese, style changed during this transfer. Now, talking of menace and reach, implicit could have been avoided through correct 5W1H or maybe 5W1H plus frame approach. Going to the next sentence, third one. The frame is Ryoshino wa Aito no ii o hyomeshita. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Aito no ii o hyomeshita. So smart frame, because it's not hyomeshita only. Nani ni taishite?
Ryokoku no higaisha no izoku ni taishite.
Okay, so izoku ni taishite could have been an answer, and higaisha no izoku ni taishite could have been an answer, and ryokoku no higaisha no izoku ni taishite means two questions have been saved here. Okay, nani ni yoru higaisha desu ka?
Saikin no tero kougeki ni yoru. Okay,
so the one who got the impact because of the recent terrorist act. Okay. どこでテロ攻撃がありましたんですか?
Daka yobi uri o fumu.
Okay, now my question was どこでテロ攻撃がありましたか? And now see here, it's どこでのテロ攻撃. If you look at the Japanese sentence or even the published original also, it says Daka oyobi uri o fukumu saikin no tero kogeki, and this tero kogeki is actually tero kogeki jiken. So it's not Dhaka or Uri are not the place. Dhaka and Uri are the names of the incident. So Dhaka incident and the Uri incident. Therefore, the question should be Doko de no tero kogeki. If I say, it will be place, so it can cause a problem. So you have to be careful. It should be dono tero kogeki was the right question. So for dynamic questions, first step, break the sentence in meaningful small segments. Next, derive hint for questions from the answer segment. Stepwise process for accurate question is you need to remember for all purposes. This is the published Japanese translation and the reverse translation. Extended their condolences. So Aito no ii o hyomeshita. Extended their condolences as if you say extended their condolences, now Aito no ii is getting translated as condolences in this, which is fine. So published and reverse TR are same. This means Aito no ii means feeling of sympathy. Extend condolences means express the feeling of sorrow. So equivalent is peripheral. For extended, is used for hyomeshita, which is a better equivalent as compared to taidoya ketsuyo hakiri, as it means taidoya ketsuyo hakiri to arawasu, and is derived from the context. So it's basically what is that, izoku ni taishite? Yeah. So it's basically derived from izoku ni taishite. So the expression may be treated as universal unit, and together Aito no ii o hyomeshita complete thing can be taken as a core equivalent for extended their condolences at unit level. Reverse TR as well as the published version have almost same frame. This is indicative of smooth frame transfer process. In the reverse TR, O fukumu is missed out. This is a problem. Issue is one-to-one accountability, coverage procedure, appropriate application of 5W1H. If you want to ensure that all the elements have been covered, then you have to probably physically check whether each element has got its equivalent in the target language or not. But 5W1H is one approach which can help you doing so. One more, to the bereaved families of the victims, and Higaisha no Kizoku ni taishite. Now 2 is getting translated as ni taishite. Kizoku is bereaved families, okay. Of the victims, Higaisha no is fine, okay. In the reverse translation, to the families of victims, I think bereaved is missing in this. Rest is, I think, fine. So one-to-one accountability is a issue for each. Each element could have been probably confirmed, or its equivalence availability, or could have confirmed whether accountability is complete or not. But published version to Japanese translation is core at microframe level. Then recent terrorist attacks, including in Dhaka and Uri. Dhaka, Uri, ofukumu saikin no tero kogeki. In English, what he's talking about is recent terrorist attacks, including in Dhaka and Uri. So Dhaka and Uri are the place names. In Japanese, Dhaka uyobi Uri ofukumu saikin no tero kogeki means it's turning the Dhaka and Uri as incidents. So the name of the incident. So rather than place, it's significant now as what is Dhaka incident or Dhaka terrorist attack. It is a terrorist attack which happened in Dhaka. So Japanese TR is exactly same here as published version, though no in Saikin no Tero Kogeki needs explanation to match recent terrorist attacks. Reverse translation is incorrect. Dhaka oyobi Uri are proper nouns and represent in a way it is incorrect, because if in English also it's not incident, it's place. So core at unit level, if we treat at is at a unit level. Apply 5W1H on microframes to ensure accuracy. For example, Donna Kazoku. So it will give Isoku and Nani of Fukumu. So that will cover the Fukumu. Sentence number 4. It's ni motometa. So let's see the frame. Ryoshuno wa motometa. Okay, so motometa, that means O is not there. Ni motometa is there. So kunini motometa, there must be O also in this. So let's go for the question. So first go for O. Nani o motometa? Riko motometa. Okay, next. Nan no riko?
Ampo ri ketsugi 1267およびテロ組織の指定する他の関連の決議の。
Okay, so it's Ketsugi no Riko o Motometa, and there are 1267 resolution, and the other is Tero what is that? Tero Soshiki Tero Soshiki o shite suru hoka no kanren no ketsugi. Okay, so one is specific 1267, the other is other ketsugi. Okay. Dare ni motometa desu ka? Subete no kuni ni. Okay. Now this gives you a broad idea. So dynamic question process becomes realistic when units and segments have been identified properly. Once the accurate TR has been rendered, a higher level of 5W1H leads to free translation. The published version had to implement the
resolution.
Okay, to implement the resolution, and Japanese TR is Ketsugi no Riko is fine, and implementation of resolution is also fine. In English, it is to implement, that is verb. In Japanese, it is becoming no Riko, that means it's becoming noun. So it's peripheral. When you see published to Japanese and core in Japanese core, when it is Japanese to reverse translation. Though accountability is not maintained, reverse translation and published version are not so different. However, the freedom may be used only on the level of at the level of revised translation. So 5W1H is 5W1H allows accountability. If we see the elements, it's first is Huan. It's no Ampori Ketsugi. Ampori Ketsugi is Ampori stands for UNSC. That is, yeah, UNSC resolution. It may be treated as universal unit. The next is Kanden no Ketsugi. Kanden Ketsugi. Kanden can be different. It could be a something no Ketsugi. So it's a quasi universal unit. And Terososhiki for terrorist entities. I think this should be taken as universal unit because this is not so easily available word, because Soshki is normally organization and Tero has got an issue of whether it is terrorism or it's terrorist. Okay, now going for the, can you read the published version, the component? Called upon
all countries.
Called upon all countries. Subete no kuni ni motometa. Okay, this is direct fine. What's in the reversed here? The sought from all countries. Okay. Now, motometa is getting translated in the reverse one as sought from ni motometa, and in English it's called upon all the countries. Called upon all the countries seeking their cooperation is ni motometa. So, ni motometa is usually sought from, and Riko O in the Riko O Subete no kuni ni motometa is making it called upon all countries to implement. What is their equivalent of one part? Okay, equivalent of one part is coming from the context of other part, and therefore it can be treated as a unit, implicit at the unit level. So 5W1H may not have resolved the issue in this case, though English to Japanese does give the option. English to Japanese, when you translate, that is called upon. And if you look for the equivalents, then you'll find that ni motometa is quite close equivalent available. Otherwise, called upon can also mean visit, and called upon can also mean visited or asked. And when you say asked somebody, then it obviously means ask somebody to do something for you. So free TR through higher level 5W1H combined with the subject knowledge may give implicit version. Ryoshuno what's there? Torikumu koto. Okay, Torikumu koto o motometa. So it's a smart frame. Torikumu koto is added. So Torikumu koto o motometa. Fine. Donna koto ni?
避難場所とインフラを
除去するために
共同することに。
共同し、okay, 共同することに。But 共同し means that there is some more verb, okay? Next question is, そして、
テロリストのネットワークと資金調達経路を破壊することに。
Okay, 資金調達経路を破壊し、that 破壊し is 破壊することに。So this again, she means that something else is there. So I think there should be one more. 他は
テロリストの越境を止めることに。
Okay, 越境を止めることに。Okay, fine. I think this is clear. So answers are microframes, which can be accurately translated by applying 5W1H further, if the need be. Frame or segment segregation and 5W1H are mutually complementary. That means when you segregate the frame or segment segregation is done, then 5W1H is asked. You can use 5W1H to segregate the segment of the frame, and vice versa, that this process helps you in the 5W1H also. Let's take the CPCI components, and first is terrorist safe havens. It's a good word. Tero no, it's Hinan Basho. Okay, Tero no Hinan Basho. Hinan Basho, normally in the earthquake people say Hinan Basho. That means if earthquake takes place, you go to a Hinan Basho. That means a place where you can evacuate to. But it's a safe haven, because it's believed that you will be comfortable there. So implicit. Okay, so terrorist safe havens is making it implicit. Fine. Then explanation is tero hinan basho is terrorist ga hinan dekiru matawa hinansuru basho. Yeah, this is elemental relation issue because hinan basho does not explain whether it is hinan dekiru basho or hinansuru basho. So it will be the context which will tell you that. Okay, next, it's too small. Can you read?
Cross-border movement of terrorists.
Okay, cross-border movement of terrorists. Cross-border movement. That means if it's a case of India, Pakistan, then terrorists traveling from the border of one country to the other country. That is cross-border terrorist movement. It does not specify from which country to which country. It's from one country to the other country. And this is translated in reverse as cross-border terrorism. No, that's a different one. Cross-border terrorism is the terrorism is happening in one country and it's originating from the other country. So meaning is slightly different, and therefore if you look at the published version and the Japanese translation, it's implicit translation. Then cross-border movement of terrorists in English can be said as movement of terrorists across the border. So it's question of elemental relation. That's all in this module, which was the last module of this series. The learnings can be summed up as follows. Framing questions under 5W1H is not considered easy. Yes, that's true. Dynamic question approach is an interactive exercise that helps in learning while practicing. Dynamic questions approach, dynamic questioning approach has certain components, and these are segmentation of sentence, identify units in the segments, draw hint from each segment, use combination of Japanese and mother tongue in understanding to pose the realistic questions. And about role of 5W1H, it helps in maintaining one-to-one accountability, that is accuracy. Then it increases the comfort level in identifying microframes and in rendering the translation. Then translating implicit is a way to do the free translation. It helps in doing so. Once you put 5W1H, you'll be clear about the content, and beyond that you can keep modifying it, and while modifying also ensure that you are not deviating from the text by using 5W1H. Frame plus 5W1H is found a better approach. Two are in fact mutually complementary. You capture the frame, keep applying the 5W1H. You have captured already the frame, now you can apply it on the 5W1H when you are putting the 5W1H. Proper nouns should be left untouched. Creation of database is helpful to deal with the equivalent selection for the specific purpose. For the specific proper noun, for example, tero soshiki for terrorist entities. Then elemental relationship requires in-depth ability to comprehend the source language and to render in that particular component or that particular segment in the target language. Reverse translation, as was told initially also in the previous modules, also reverse into source language, that is into the original language, is a strong tool to check the accuracy, or you can say it's a strong tool to check the cognizance level in that mechanism of translation. If the frame of source language is maintained in the reverse translation also, it means the source language to translanguage process should have been a very accurate process. These are some of the references for this module. And thank you so much for this journey together of these 35 modules. It was a step-by-step process. You should travel again and again and again. I look forward to your feedback. Thank you so much.